Right then, there is a new kid in a new town. That is because for the very first time, Lucknow is going to have its very own IPL team. And even though the team is going to be new, the two gentlemen that are joining me are not new to the IPL. One man in KL Rahul needs no introduction, is captain an IPL team before, is coming back fresh from captaining the Indian team in South Africa. And then you've got Mr. Sanjeev Goenka, who, apart from being a very successful businessman, is also an avid sports lover, as you can tell, because he owns one of the most iconic football clubs, not just in India, but world over in ATK Mohan Bagan, and also had a tryst with the IPL, if you remember, with the Pune Super Giants. So plenty to talk to these two gentlemen about. In KL Rahul, Sanjeev Goenka, thanks so much for taking our time and speaking to India today. But firstly, I've been, Mr. Goenka, I'll start with you. I've been saying the Lucknow franchise, the Lucknow team. Do you have a name for us?
Yes, we do.
Hmm.
We had a contest with the fans saying, name your team. And the response was actually phenomenal. And the most popular name or the most repeated name in that was a name which I quite liked, and so did everyone else involved. And that's the name we are going to go with, and that's Lucknow Super Giants.
Right. Okay. I can see the residue of the previous IPL team. Clearly, you have some unfinished business in the IPL. Am I correct to say that?
No, we have new business in the IPL,
Hmm.
and it's the aspiration of every IPL franchise owner to win the IPL. And we're here to win. We mean business. We are here to be serious about our business. We are not people who say कि playoffs पहुंच गए बहुत अच्छा हो गया.
Yeah.
So whether we succeed or not, it is eventually time will say. But we are here to succeed. We are here to perform, and we are here
Right.
to deliver.
Right. Kale, are you already feeling the pressure? As Mr. Goenka says, we're not just happy making playoffs, huh?
No, I mean, that's one of the things that really stood out for me when I had the initial conversations with Sir, and um, his passion and his want to win and his attitude towards life and sport is what really got to me.
Hmm.
Um, I feel that's how I think, that's how I am in life. I want to compete and be the best, and prepare for the best and want to win all the time. And after that, I'm willing to accept the result as it comes. But we want to be a team that believes that we can win. We want to be a team that prepares to win. Um, so yeah, really happy to be part of this wonderful franchise, and really look forward to a great journey with Sanjeev sir, learning from him, and trying to create a great franchise together.
Okay, I know the tougher test will be on the cricketing pitch, but before that, I'm going to put you on a sticky wicket. Now, show some love to Lucknow, your new franchise. Now, tell me, this is a tough one. Tell me three things where Lucknow beats Bangalore, the city that you stay in, the city where you played majority of your cricket in. Come on.
Yeah, I do plan on going back to Bangalore, but I'd probably want to land there before this airs. But um, Bangalore's home will always be home. I actually, in fact, haven't been in Lucknow for too many days. I only remember playing one game against West Indies, and we were there only for a couple of days. So, from what I've heard, and what I really look forward to is the food. Um, you know, want to go there and experience the local food, which is always spoken so highly about. Uh, One thing about Bangalore that um, I don't really like is the traffic. So I'm sure that will be a little bit easier in Lucknow. Um, yeah, just two things. Yeah,
Right, I'll tell you what,
that'll
it's
let
better
me
than
survive
Bangalore.
for a bit longer. Yeah.
Having been to Bangalore and Lucknow both, I'll just tell you what, it's better than Bangalore, the traffic in Lucknow, but it's not great shake either. So, but yeah, it'll be minor relief for you
Yeah.
compared to the Bangalore traffic. Mr. Goenka, I would want you also to show some love to Lucknow. I want you to pick three things over Kolkata when it comes to Lucknow and Kolkata. But I'm going to ask you, see, you also own one of the most iconic music labels, in Saregama. If you had to sum up the philosophy of your new team, quoting any one of your legendary songs, would you pick one for me, or you already have some song in mind that is being prepared for the team?
So a song is being prepared for the team, and it's by a legendary musician. Uh, but if I had to say something, I would say "Hum Honge Kamyab."
Right, yeah, that's a good one. I think you also own the right for Jo Jeete Wo Sikandar, so it has Yahan Ke Hum Sikandar. I thought that would also go really well, one of my
Yeah.
favorite films. So but yeah, would you let us in on the name, some big guy, or it's a secret at the moment? No.
Not yet,
Uh-huh.
uh, but he's a big guy. Yes,
Okay,
very big
we'll
guy.
wait for that. Mr. Goenka, tell us what were the main reasons behind. I don't want to embarrass KL here because he's sitting next to us and you're going to be praising him. But tell us the factors that went into you picking KL as your captain.
Very simple, very obvious. To me, he's not only a great batsman and a great wicketkeeper, but he's a great leader. I
Mm,
think he's got several qualities, but what appealed to me the most was that he's cool, he's unflappable,
mm,
he's not very expressive, and I think I like that in a leader because the more expressive you are, the more you're giving out your thoughts, and the less expressive you are, the less others get to know your thoughts. So being communicative is one thing, being expressive is a different thing. Uh, and I'm not a very expressive person myself. So when we lost the IPL, I was still smiling. If we win it, you still find me smiling exactly the same way. Uh, so you may feel dukhi from inside or khush from inside, but outside it'll be the same. And I think whatever I have seen of KL, I have seen
mm.
him to be the same. It's uh, he doesn't let his emotions uh, come out publicly, and I think that's the way a leader is. Uh, there are different kinds of leadership, and of course, there are different models which have been successful. But this is one that I resonate with, uh, and I clearly think he's not been given ample opportunity or adequate opportunity to prove his worth. And given the opportunity, he will be way, way more successful than he's. I mean, he'll have much more success going forward because that's what his capability is.
Right. Just taking that forward, KL, you got a chance, and it's a matter of honor to be leading the Indian team. What were your learnings from the South African tour, where you led the Indian team in Test matches as well as ODI cricket? And are you going to take some of those learnings forward as a leader going forward?
Yes, of course. Firstly, I think it's a huge honor for me, and it was a dream come true to represent my country and to lead my country. Um, yes, the results didn't go our way, but um, I think there were massive learnings, and we're at a stage right now where we have World Cups as the focus, and we're working towards certain things, and we're working towards getting better as a team and learning, and I feel like we played some really good cricket over the last 4 or 5 years, but it's also time for a little bit of a for us to get better and transform our white ball cricket, and that's been the chat. And we want to work on certain things, so I don't use that as an excuse for not winning, but I think we're a work in progress as a team, and for me it was my first time leading, so it was great actually. I learned so much. There's so much you learn from losses, and losses make you so much more stronger than starting off with victories, and my career has always been that way. I've always got things um, um, slowly, and I've always had to start with a sort of uh, punch or a hit. Happened with me in my test career. It's happened with how my journey as a cricketer has gone. It's always been a slow and steady thing. So I'm quite confident that my captaincy also will be similar, and I'm quite confident in my leadership skills, and I know that I can bring the best out of the players, and I know I can do the job for the team, for the country, for my franchise. So yeah, I'm confident, and I'm not someone who judges myself based on the results. If there are certain boxes that I need to tick as a leader, and if I'm doing all of those things, and if my team is happy with how I'm leading them, that's the most important thing, and that's what matters to me. And I know eventually, the results will follow as well, and the results and the success will stay there for longer. I'd rather have a longer run as a successful captain and a leader than start off with something big and then go go downwards. So that's how I look at it. And yeah, fingers crossed. Hopefully, the best is yet to come.
Right, fair point. Talking about bringing the best out of your players, is it? I'm getting back to the IPL. Is it fair to assume, KL, that you may have played a role in having Ravi Bishnoi also part of the franchise, considering that you played together in Punjab Kings, and he did outstandingly well under your leadership.
Yes and no. A bit of both. I think every decision that we've made has been a collective decision. It's been between Sanjeev Sir, Gautam Gambhir, Andy Plara, coach, our CEO, and me. All five of us have sat down, and we've had multiple discussions over who the three retention should be. Obviously, the two, because I was already part of
Yeah.
this discussion. So, it was important that we all decided we need three. It gives us a good start. It gives us a great direction to have an all-rounder in the team and have a wicket-taking option. And I think it was we all decided that an uncapped player would. I think Gautam Gambhir gave us this suggestion because he's been part of the IPL and the mega auctions before. So to get an uncapped player at a lower price, and that gives us more money going into the auction. And Ravi and I think there were a couple other uncapped players, the names that came up, but I think um, Ravi won that race, obviously, because I've played with him and I know what he brings to the table, and the kind of fight he has, and I've really enjoyed having him in my team. So I wanted to continue that journey with him, and everybody else seemed happy, and everyone else feels that he's potentially the next um, next spinner for Team India as well. So we'd want him part of our team and want all of us to support him in that journey.
Okay, I know each team hold their cards very close to their chest, so I probably may not get too many names. But Kale, I'll come to you. Forget about Lucknow going, as Mr. Goenka said. Certain names, all of us can really pinpoint and say that most franchises are going to bid for them. But since you just finished the South Africa tour, I'm going to talk about a few South African players that did outstandingly well. You reckon they will be hot in terms of Van der Dusen? I think comes to mind with his white ball cricket. There's Marco Jansen, who impressed a lot of cricket followers. There is also Kagiso Rabada, who's going to be in this auction. So not just Lucknow, you think these are going to be hot picks, considering they've just played against India, and sometimes players that tend to do well against India are also they come under the radar of the IPL teams.
Yeah, for sure, it's a no-brainer. I think the players who've been performing for a long time. Rabada, we've seen over the
Yeah.
years, has performed in the IPL as well, has been a key bowler for Delhi the last 2 3 years, and has played a huge part in their success. And he will be a very important player, and every team would want a player like Giso Rabada. Come on, bowls 140, 145 plus, and he's a very smart cricketer as well. So everyone would want someone like that in their team. Marco Jansen obviously played a few games for Mumbai Indians, but he's just coming off his own now. He had a really good series against India with a red ball. So yes, that makes a little bit of a difference in how people will see it. He's definitely um, someone who will do really well in international cricket with the red ball, because having faced him in Test match cricket, we all spoke about it after the series as well. He's going to be a next big thing in international cricket for sure. Van der Dussen, like you said, he's been performing phenomenally, and someone who's playing spin really well, I think, which is a key, which is a very important thing, and very important thing that a franchise looks at when you're picking a foreign batter, if they can play spin well, because you play the IPL in India, and teams tend to use a lot of spinners in the middle overs, and you need to be a good player of spin to get into an IPL team. So I think all these guys have done really well, and won't be surprised if they get a IPL contract. I'm sure they'll get an IPL contract.
Right. My final question before I let both of you go, Mr. Goenka, to you. The two new teams have been allowed to retain, three players as opposed to four that the franchises that already existed got an opportunity to do. How do you see it? Do you think that evens things out? It's fine the way it is, or do you think it puts the new teams at a disadvantage?
I'm not one who believes in these comparisons and advantage, disadvantage.
Hmm.
The reality is what you have.
Hmm.
You are allowed to retain three players. We've retained three. When you have the mega auction, you go out and choose whoever you can to the best of your ability, and then go out and compete. I think, saying that he's got a better deal, we've got a worse deal, we've got a better deal, somebody has a. I think those are all childish things. Uh, you just you just learn to outgrow these things, and you say that, listen, this is what it is. Go ahead and do your job.
All right. On that note, on that perfect note, thank you, gentlemen, K. Rahul, Mr. Goenka, for taking our time speaking to us. So now we're going to have a 10-team IPL. It's not the first time we've had a 10-team IPL before. It means a longer IPL window, but I don't hear the fans complaining who absolutely love watching the Indian Premier League. Thank you once again for speaking to India
Thank you.
today.